Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Phantom.Strategies. So in this video I want to cover Litecoin. It's been a while since we covered Litecoin just one-on-one. We have mentioned Litecoins a few times. In fact, we made some really profitable trades in early February on Litecoin, picking up all the pretty much the bottom in Litecoin around 1.315 levels. Since then we have traded up and up and made some really good profit on Litecoin. And this is one of the coin is easy to get in and out of, especially with your fiat currencies like USD. A lot of people here in US have a Coinbase account, and the Coinbase account is linked to their GDEX account, where you can actually trade for free and you don't have to pay the fees. So it's one of those coins that you can actively trade, and it can be very profitable if you're trading properly and with proper risk management and buying the supports and selling the resistance. So let's get started with Litecoin right now. We mentioned in that last video during the Bitcoin morning update that it's been consolidating for almost like 9-10 days, and it's ready to break. It's ready to break out, and I was expecting a little bit upward momentum breakout, but that really had to be dependent on the overall market breakout on the upside, especially on the Bitcoin. When we break that 11,700 level, which is the neckline on the inverse head and shoulder pattern. I will cover that in a little bit. On the end of the video I will cover Bitcoin. But here what we are seeing is that we were in this consolidation zone for last 7-8 days, and it was just ready to pop, but it's ready to break out, and it happened on the downside, especially with the overall market retracing. So 190 it is a very good support level on Litecoin. I have previously marked that in with dotted blue line, and it literally touched that 190 level and came right off to 196, 197 now. So that's a very good level to watch in Litecoin. Furthermore, it have the 50-day moving average, which is going to be around 186, 187 level. So keep an eye on that. That will be a good support for Litecoin as well. But this 190 level is very critical, because that was the previous resistance when we were trying to get out of that zone. We actually took support from that 190 level and the moving average previously. So it's been tested. 190 has been tested a few times as a good support. So we want to be looking for that level as a potential entry or for Litecoin. Yeah. So one thing that we really need to break. So if I zoom this up a little bit, so if you see this pink trend line that I have drew, that's the trend line that we have to break in the short term. Okay, if we can get out of that trend line in a short term, we can definitely see that 230 as a first target. For 230 level as the first target, and then 250 and perhaps 260 levels. So, but the first target, if we can break this the 208 levels, then the first target will be around 230 in Litecoin, and then perhaps getting in this resistance zone and toward 253. Now all this is dependent on how Bitcoin will react in this upcoming this upcoming days, right? So we want to be very mindful that none of these altcoins will move much, or whatever the breakout that you might see in them, they won't last too long until we have a sustainable breakout in Bitcoin over 11,700 mark. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. None of this altcoin breakout that you might see right now will be sustainable until we have a positive breakout and positive confirmation in Bitcoin over 11,700 levels. I will cover Bitcoin at the end of this video and just kind of walk you through that scenario, but I want to reiterate this fact because it's very important when you are making these trades. One thing I want to tell the viewers and the subscribers is this is not a 2017 market. All right, this market is significantly different than what you have experienced, what I have experienced in 2017. 2017 we had a nice straight up line. We had a minor pullbacks and minor correction, but then the momentum was such a strong momentum on the upside. You're not going to see that in 2018. So please be very realistic. That being said, there is still a lot of money that you can make in this market if you trade properly, if you set up your portfolio in the right way, if you are making sure your risk management is done correctly. You don't want to be the guy who ran out of all the bullet, and then there's a time comes you are out of it. You don't want to be one of those guys. You want to make sure when the opportunity comes, you have enough ammunition to sustain, to survive and to thrive. Okay, so you want to be very careful on those risk management, setting up your portfolio properly. Don't be an amateur trader. You are investing, even if you're investing with $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Those are hard. That money, you worked for those money, right? In the fiat currency that you're bringing that in. You probably have the day job. You have you worked hard for that money. Even if it's as little as $1,000, you have to work hard for that money. So don't just come into the market and just gamble it or just throw it away. So make sure you letting your money work for you instead of you working for your money. All right. So be very smart on those things. Make sure your portfolio is set up properly. Make sure that's the things when I say setting the portfolio, you need to make sure there is in lines. It doesn't it's not there is significant risk on one side and you have it just fluctuate up and down on one or two coins. Those are the things that I have done for people who came for those portfolio analysis things. So I mean, the major thing is make sure that you are not getting all burned out, and make sure you're not trading like an amateur. Even if you have a small portfolio, trade it even if you have $1,000 portfolio, trade it like it's a $10,000 portfolio. So make sure you basically you have to make your money work for you rather than you working for your money. Okay. Okay, enough about that. Enough about, because I think that's the reason I like to talk about this is it's a very important thing, and it's very crucial part of investing. If you don't have your basics right, if you don't have your portfolio set up correctly, then you will run into problems. You might not see those problems right now, but trust me, you will run into those problems. And you want to address those problems sooner rather than later. Talk to the people who have blown up, their portfolio. They were up 100,000, but they blew it up. People were up crazy amount, but they blew it up because they didn't have that proper portfolio management techniques. They did not set up their portfolio properly. So please be very careful on those things. All right. So Litecoin. Let's look at the smaller time frame. Again, it's coming up, the support level, the 190 is acting as a really good support. So I expect it to hold up at least for right now until unless there's Bitcoin goes to 10,300 levels. I really truly expect 190 to hold up. Okay, unless something drastically changes in the Bitcoin price action overnight. Okay. Yeah, this is the trend line that we need to cross. This is the trend line. If we can cross this one, if we can break through this pink trend line on the upward side, we can definitely see 230 as a first target, and then 253 and 260. Okay, let's cover Bitcoin. Bitcoin is our queen bee. We need to make sure it stays pretty healthy. All right, so let's look at the daily. Okay, so it broke the trend line that I talked about in the morning video. Currently it's getting the support from the 20-day moving average and the 11-day moving average. We're trying to get the support from that and bounce back. If we can bounce back from this support, from this trend line support, the 20-day moving average, trust me, that will be very, very bullish. If we can, like in the overnight session, if we can get the bounce from this moving average, I'm going to say this again because it's very critical. If we can get the bounce from this 20-day moving average on the daily, if we can stay over the 10,600 level tonight and we can get the bounce from there, it will be very bullish. We will hit some resistance. That's this resistance zone. We have been calling this out for 2 weeks. We have called it out here. We have calling it out here. This is a resistance zone, and we need to get over it. We pierced it a couple of times, but we need to get it over with nice heavy volume. Okay, I still remain bullish for March in Bitcoin, but 10,300 is the critical point that we need to stay over. And for the time being, for this week, we need to make sure that we stay over this moving average, the 20-day moving average. Okay, if I put my Bollinger Band on this, see this Bollinger Band, this is the critical level, the 20-day moving average. We need to make sure we stay over that. Okay, hold on 1 minute. Okay, yeah, so let's see how the overnight session goes, and if we can really push it through that resistance zone. Otherwise, we can. I mean, if we don't want to linger around this level too long. The reason we don't want to linger around this level too long is because then people who started buying coins up here, they will start taking profit, because they will be like, you know what, I'm coming to my break-even point, might as well just get out of the Bitcoin right now and buy it lower. So we don't want to create those mindsets, and we need to make sure that people who bought in here at 9,000 levels, they remain in their long position and they're not getting out of the. Then longer we stay in this kind of range, people will start questioning their trades, and we don't want that. So that's the reason we need to make sure we stay over those levels. Okay, we need like new set of investors to come and pump the market. The biggest problem is, like, you know, the exchanges are just letting a lot of people down. Coinbase to start with, then there are just so many exchanges that are like there's enough interest out there. It's not there is not enough interest, but it's just like a level of comfort with these exchanges, like Coinbase with Ripple. It's such a, like, they're shooting themselves in the foot. That being said, Ripple can still survive and thrive without Coinbase. Coinbase is not the ultimate authority on Ripple survival and like the growth. All right, Coinbase is just one of the exchange in US. There are plenty of other places that Ripple can still come and thrive and grow. So, but Coinbase is just like, you know, disappointing. It's seriously having very disappointing exchange, and they will have to eat their dog shit soon. A lot of, like, you know, they're acting like a big boss right now, but trust me, they will have to, like, you know, when bigger exchange start opening up, they will have problems. Right now, the reason people like Coinbase is the interface is very easy, it's very clean, but it's like, you know, there will be other exchange who will, like, you know, mimic that and copy that, and so Coinbase has their own problems. that's a story for some other day. So Bitcoin, again, we need to stay over the 20-day moving average. Litecoin, I mentioned, we need to stay over that 190 levels. 190 is a very it's a very good support for intermediate right now. And if the overall Bitcoin price action goes in the positive direction, the market will follow. The altcoins will follow. Okay, all right. So that's all, guys. I will create some other altcoins later today. And let me know if you have any question. Post it in the comments. I'm pretty good about getting back to those. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I post this content every day. Let me know what other coins you want me to review. Sometimes I get really good coins that you guys post in the comment, and I look at those charts and I'm like, oh my god, this is a really good coin, and I really need to get this out there. And sometimes they're not so good, so I'm like, okay, I will get to them, but that's not my priority right now because there are so many other coins. So those are that's the reason I might not have come across the coin that you have mentioned so far. But if there is some significant interest from the community, from the Phantom community, then I'll make sure that I create those videos. Okay, so please post it. If you think this is helping you with your trading, with your investing, you're learning something new, then please give me thumbs up. It means a lot, and I will create more content for you shortly. All right, thank you.